Alright, what's up everybody? So, we're back here today after making the video last night of the SCX24 C10s. Where pretty much we showed you guys all of our mods and explained why we did it and, what you would need like bare minimum if you're entering, into these little crawlers. Right out of the box, they do come, able to climb stuff and able to go over obstacles and stuff, but they're kind of limited. But right out of the box, say I just pulled this out of the box, it had silver rims, smaller tires, it had the Canopy on the back here, and a different bumper. So my shocks out of the box were vertical. They're completely straight up and down. So one of the free mods that you can do to get better suspension, kind of lower the vehicle a little bit to lower your center of gravity, but also gain more articulation. As you can see here, let's see, I have a little ramp here. Let's see if I can. So, set that down straight. So yeah, at the top of my little articulation ramp, I can set that front tire up there, and it's off the ground a little bit. But then again, this is all stock suspension, and I'm pretty sure because these links are nice and long, I set this up in the back. Oh yeah, see? Three wheels touching. One wheel tucked all the way up in there. And as you can see on my Gladiator, I'm running bigger tires. These are the RC four-wheel drive scramblers. So they're pretty big, and I'm running like 3/4 foams in them. So I actually looked up how to get better traction out of these, even though these are super soft and they already have great traction. I just wanted more. And I keep seeing all these videos of these guys that look like they have like that aired down tire look, like that low tire pressure look. And I saw a video of a guy, he ordered these and he trimmed the foam down to like 3/4 of what it was, stuck it back in, and that's how he achieved, that low air pressure look like that. What I did is I got aftermarket wheels for my C10, and I cut the stock foams out of the wheel, or no, I bought 2 sets of rims for my C10, and out of one of the sets, I took one of the foams out, and it was the perfect size for the C10 tires, and I stuck that in here. So the foams actually aren't big enough to touch the insides of these tires. There's, I'd say, maybe 3 or 4 millimeter from the inside of the tire. Not maybe about 3. Inside of the tire, touching that foam, about 3 millimeter. And that's what gave me that aired down, look to it. So, and that helps a lot. Whatever course you're on, it helps a lot to have a little bit, that little bit of give. So if it's not grabbing, there's something to grab onto. Sometimes, this tire will just fold over that and grab, and get you up that hill or over that obstacle. I cut my fender flares off just because I thought it was I thought it looks a little bit more aggressive. I did that with my white CRC Jeep that I did the rear steer on, and that auctioned off for a pretty cool penny. One thing that I saw a lot of people doing and a lot of people complaining about was the canopy top right here. If your whole truck is stock, that canopy top adds a lot of weight back there. And you know, they stiffened up these springs. They put stiffer springs on the rear. And I have some rear C10 springs that I'm actually gonna swap these out and put, you know, the C10 springs in there and, you know, get it a little bit softer, because even though that thing is plastic and it weighs nothing in your hand, it's something when it's this high up and it's on the back of your truck. I would recommend, if you're gonna hill climb, take that off, especially if you're gonna go with bigger tires than stock, because you're gonna raise your center of gravity. So what I kind of want to do with this is get this to where it's almost like a belly rubber, you know, get it real low and have it be able to just flex and, you know, pop into holes as it's climbing and, you know, do what it needs to do. You know, that's a pretty good amount of flex right there already, but there could always be more. And if I want more out of it, I can go with the hot racing long travel suspension. I have a set of those, but I just haven't slapped them on here yet. Changing your suspension angle, that's going to give you more flex right out of the box. You'll notice your Gladiator comes and your suspension is straight up and down. If you just change it, you know, from that hole right there that you see doesn't have a screw in it, that's where your shock was, or that's where my shock was. And I just moved it down to right there on the frame rail. And that dropped my vehicle a little bit, but gave me all that flex that I was looking for. And with stock tires, you're not gonna really have to worry about rubbing on the fender well, or on the fenders, the flares I mean. But because I am running bigger tires, it did rub for me and it got annoying. And honestly, I don't really like the flares anyway, so I just cut them off. Did sort of a hack job with the razor blade by hand, but what else did I do to this thing? Oh yeah. So as far as like brass, all I did was front and rear diff covers. I did extended axles with rear extensions. Forgot to put those on. But this is +5 millimeter inner axle shafts. They're extensions. And then up here is +5. So I have brass knuckles, I have axle weights, wheel weights, and a brass diff cover, and a hot racing aluminum steering linkage. Also, what would count for a little bit of front end weight would be this guy right here. This nice thick aluminum bumper, which is like a flush mount bumper. As you can see there, doesn't protrude out really far like the stock bumper. So I'm really happy with this, because like we were talking about in the video last night with the C10s, we did the bumper deletes because the approach angle, you know, you have a bumper, you know, pretty low, sticking out pretty decent, you know, you come up to something and your bumper hits and your wheels just kind of wedge into it. So, you know, we just removed the bumpers. This one I don't really have to worry about because the truck is so high. Let's take a look under the hood. Oh, and speaking of this, under the hood, I don't like the Velcro idea, this whole thing, you know, because of that right there. Constantly have to stick it back onto the body. I've glued it. As you can see, there's glue all over it. But, I don't know. I'm just going to change it out and drill a hole. And it'll be good. With these, I haven't tried to fit a fat pack battery pack under there yet. It's still the 350 that it comes with. Oh, and like we were talking about last night, if you're gonna run your stock motor and you're gonna add a little weight, eventually you're gonna burn that motor out, because that motor's only set up maybe to handle just maybe like 1 or 2 mods, you know, and you start, you know, getting hella weight on it, you're gonna burn that motor out, and the next one and the next one. So to make them last, you know, longer, it is a good idea to get a heat sink. So I got a hot racing heat sink right here. For the stock motor, you can tell it's stock because it has that blue capacitor on there. I've seen a lot of aftermarket ones on eBay that don't have that blue capacitor, and they don't have the Dynamite logo or anything, so I'm pretty sure they're just aftermarket. It's like a 88 turn or 88T. But yeah, so this is my Gladiator, and now that I'm looking at it, I got 2 front wheels on backwards, so that's cool. I'll have to change that. Yeah, I didn't do the whole solid, you know, aluminum axles and links and go crazy with it, because the wheelbase is so long that you just need a little bit of weight up front and you're completely good. The bare minimum on the back is just so those tires get some traction. There's like no weight on the back really at all. But yeah, so that's my Gladiator. This is my setup. It's set up for hill climb. I'll be making another video once I change these springs and show you guys how it runs and everything, and you know how nothing's, you even turn it and see nothing's rubbing anymore once I cut those off. All I did was follow the black line of the flare with a razor and just cut it off. So, hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to see more videos, maybe like and subscribe. All right, see ya.